Daddy, Daddy, look at those Imperata cylindrica. Look at the Mimosa pudica. I'm quite amazed with my 3 years old daughter when she can pronounce those scientific names correctly. Developing materials and methods promote THAMES, technology, hands-on art, mathematics, engineering, science, learning among school students. Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is PJ Ape Angat and I'm from Kenya Vocational College, Sabah, Malaysia. This research project focuses in determining the feasibility of hands-on learning on students from a vocational school located in a rural area in Sabah. Now, let's take a look at the problem statement. Most students, particularly in the rural areas of Sabah, seem to have little interest in science and mathematics, as evidenced by their limited level of engagement in the activities related to these subjects. Their use of technology was often confined to video games and casual mobile apps, and their grasp of science and mathematics was limited to basic level of understanding. They had difficulties in making progress through the levels of understanding that were more complex. So their lack of engagement and skills in these disciplines might persist, which would hugely influence their future academics performance, particularly in tertiary education or job performance at workplace. There are also stigma that students of vocational schools had on themselves that science and mathematics were too difficult for them to master, as these subjects were perceived to be exclusively designed for mainstream education, better, while vocational education was seen as an alternative for those who did not do well in mainstream school exams. This research attempted to investigate on the feasibility of hands-on learning to be integrated into the STEAM learning of students at a vocational school. Brothers and sisters, field-based learning is an approach where learning is extended to a specific site or location outside of the classroom or laboratory. Manduka and Carpenter 2006 listed several basic principles on field-based education: place-based teaching and learning, learning by doing, learn from direct experience in their field of study, interdisciplinary and integrated, and also it can be used in any discipline or profession. Methodology. The research will be carried in mixed modes that involve both quantitative and qualitative design. The checklist will gather quantitative data, while qualitative data are collected through document analysis. There were 24 participants in these tasks, and there are students aged 17 years who come from the interior region of Sabah. These students were selected based on their similar characteristic and the nature of their study as vocational schools. The students' scrapbook would be examined through a checklist. The checklist would be utilized to identify whether each student had done every step in the task accordingly. The students were required to present their work orally to the rest of the participants and a panel of teachers. They were then expected to answer a set of questions known as exit slip in order to elicit their response and reflection on the task that they have done. The data from the checklist were measured quantitatively, and the data from the exit slip were evaluated in the qualitative manner. Based on findings, majority of the students were able to take samples of the plants that they observed. This step required them to pay attention to the distinct traits of different leaves, such as appearance, the smell, surface, and size, in order to be able to categorize them into several types. So these are the results of the checklist. Results and analysis. Most of the students were able to perform the task. They became more aware of their environment. They learned to become better researchers that use various methods to procure information of credible sources. Conclusion: field-based education can be considered as an extension of classroom and laboratory learning, which enables students to interact with materials and resources within a natural environment that exists outside schools. This subsequently helps to consolidate learners' understanding while encouraging them to apply their inquiry skills as they interact with the environment. Samples of students' collage books. References. And that's all from me, all the way from Sabah, Malaysia. Kapkun, thank you.